Hi guys, why does the UK spend more on its military compared to France, but end up with worse outcomes? So this was a point raised by Bastani, the co-founder of Novara Media, when he appeared on a panel for GB News. Aaron explained here that Britain spends about £10 billion more than France, but nobody seems to understand why. He also asked the question, is increasing military spending as part of GDP really the way to go? Have a listen to what he had to say, and I'll explain why the UK is spending more and getting less in just a moment.
The whole conversation is utterly insane. I think, in answer to what Peter just sort of probed there, that point, why are these seasoned military professionals saying this? Well, of course, it's to scare and prime the public into supporting higher military spending. We're going to 2.5%, and then we'll go to 3% at the start of the next decade. I suspect a number of these people would like it to go far beyond that, 3.5%, 4%, 5%. Of course, the United States itself only spends 3.4%. The idea that Britain would spend a larger percentage of its economy than the United States on defence spending is, I think, outrageous. Here's an interesting fact. Last year, Britain spent £60 billion on defence spending, if you don't include the several billion that went over to Ukraine. £60 billion. To me, that sounds like a lot of money, but apparently to our political class, it's just a pittance. You know, we're building from scratch. It's year zero when it comes to the British military. The French, meanwhile, spent £10 billion less. They have a larger army, and they have a nuclear deterrent which doesn't depend on US collaboration. It's independently built, serviced, all in France. So the French basically, let's be charitable, have an army which is the same as ours. The Navy's weaker, but the army is the same as ours, and they're spending £10 billion a year less. That should be the conversation we're having in this country. Why is the world and its wife presently saying our military is not prepared when last year we spent £60 billion on defence? If that was any other ministry, if that wasn't the MOD, if that was schools or healthcare, imagine with the NHS. Well, last year we spent £120 billion, but I'm afraid we can't do anything about ill health in the country. People would say, what on earth have you done with my taxes? It's the exact same here with defence, yet for some reason it's immune from that kind of sensible, rational conversation when it comes to guaranteeing taxpayer value.
Okay, some very interesting points raised there. Now, first of all, there's a minor correction. The UK spends about £56 billion in 2024-2025 on defence, while France's reported military spending is lower at about £48 billion in 2023. Now, this is according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. However, France has a paramilitary force with military functions, and its budget is estimated at about £8.5 billion, which is not fully included in the reported military spending. Now, this could mean that France's actual military spending is closer to the UK's, thus narrowing that gap. Despite higher spending, the UK has fewer active personnel at around 180,230 in 2024. This is compared to France at about 203,000. And faces challenges like declining readiness and equipment shortages. Research suggests that the UK spends more on high-cost areas like nuclear capabilities and advanced technology, which may not translate to visible assets like troops or aircraft. France, on the other hand, seems to prioritise maintaining larger forces and more combat-ready equipment, such as 261 combat aircraft versus the UK's 201, as noted in a 2003 comparison. An unexpected factor is the UK's procurement inefficiencies, which have led to delays and cost overruns, reducing the effectiveness of its spending. For example, the UK has struggled with modernising its army, while France has invested in programmes like the Military Planning Law 2024 to 2030, boosting areas like air defence by 50%. At the same time, the UK's military budget allocation as per the Ministry of Defence 2023-2024 report shows significant spending on capital expenditure, about 33%, service personnel 20% and equipment support 10%. This suggests a focus on long-term investments and personnel, but reports highlight procurement inefficiencies such as delays in equipment modernisation, which reduce this effectiveness. France, on the other hand, has focused on modernising through its military planning laws. The 2024-30 plan allocates €413 billion with significant increases for air defences and military intelligence, emphasising emerging technologies like unmanned systems. This strategic allocation seems to yield more visible capabilities, such as more combat aircraft and frigates, despite potentially lower reported spending. So Aaron is right. Simply spending more money isn't going to fix things. There needs to be a deep review of the current role and future one that the military will play and reorganise where necessary. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and thanks for watching.